All right, picture this. A scholar tucked away in some ancient library, absolutely surrounded by these old, forgotten books. He's not just digging through history, though. He's looking for a cure for this quiet rot he sees in the world around him. And he finds two books. One is bound in what looks like shadow, and the other just glows with this luminous blue. Inside these two volumes, he finds two totally radical paths to transformation, two opposite ways to fix a world that's just stuck. So let's follow his journey and see what he uncovers.
This is the diagnosis our scholar finds right at the heart of the problem. You see, the world isn't ending in some big fiery explosion. No, it's something quieter. It's like it's suffocating in its own comfort. We've gotten so good at being safe, at being secure, that we've totally forgotten that crucial rhythm of life. Things have to end for new things to begin. This one single chilling phrase really sets the stage for the wild solutions he's about to stumble upon.
So the scholar opens that first book, the dark, heavy one, and its pages tell him about something called the gilded cage. Now, this isn't a real prison with bars. It's more like a state of mind. It's this unearned sanctuary where the comfortable, the elite, what some have called the last man, can just hide from any kind of real risk. It's a world of stagnant peace, where all the luxury is just a shield to block out the messy, undeniable truths of what it means to be alive.
And so, who shows up to smash this cage? A pretty terrifying figure, actually. The Shadow Reaper. And let's be clear, he is not a savior, not in any way we'd recognize. He's described as an agent of the abyss itself, an architect of a forbidden kind of philosophy. His whole purpose isn't to build anything new, it's to tear down the old. He's on what the book calls an intellectual salvage mission for a world that's about to die of boredom.
Now, the Reaper doesn't come swinging a sword or an axe. His weapon is an idea. The text actually calls it his crimson gift, which is just a terrifyingly poetic way of describing a philosophical tool designed to show you just how hollow a life without any real struggle can be. This isn't just random chaos, it's a cold, precise deconstruction. It's like a forced dose of reality for an age that's gone soft.
So, this is the key to understanding his whole deal. The logic of zero is like an intellectual acid. What it does is argue that no matter how you set up your life, no matter how many comfortable walls you build inside your gilded cage, every single path, every single thing you do, eventually leads back to the same empty point, the void. It just strips away all the fake stuff, all the wax fruit of modern life, to show you the nothingness that's been underneath it the whole time.
And what's so powerful here is just how brutally simple it is. Look at it. Step 1. Every path. Doesn't matter what it is. Your ambitions, your beliefs, all the little structures you build for yourself. Step 2 leads to the void. It's an absolute. There's no escaping it. And then step 3, the variable is 0. That means, ultimately, all those things we think make us special and unique, in the end, they don't change the outcome. They're just whispers in the face of a huge silence. It's a chillingly effective way to force you to face a truth that most of us spend our entire lives trying to avoid.
But our scholar learns that the Reaper isn't just fighting nothing. His philosophy is a direct attack on another character, another archetype, Salvio Pallido, who is basically the guardian of the gilded cage. The text calls him the high priest of the polished floor, a figure who represents the system's desperate attempt to keep the comfortable illusion going, to make sure nothing ever gets messy.
And this slide just lays out the conflict perfectly. The Shadow Reaper's entire mission is to force us to stare right into the abyss, to accept what he calls the honesty of the terminal shutter. But Salvio Pallido, he's the guardian of the loophole. His whole philosophy is about denial. He just lowers the tightrope so no one can possibly fall, and then claims mastery isn't about risking the fall, but about proving there was never any danger to begin with. So the scholar has to pause for a second, right? This dark book feels heavy in his hands. He's just been shown a world that's trapped, dying of comfort, and the only cure he's seen so far looks a lot like total destruction. Is that really it? Is the only way out of the gilded cage to just burn the whole thing down, with everyone still inside? The question just hangs there in the quiet library. It's a real turning point.
And then he closes the dark book. He turns to the second one, the one with the luminous blue cover. And as he opens it, it feels like the whole atmosphere in the room just shifts. And in these pages, he finds an absolutely stunning counterargument to the Reaper's abyss. A totally different architect, with a completely different toolkit, who's offering not annihilation, but transformation.
And this architect is known as Saint Germain. Now the scholar learns that in theosophy, he's what's called a chohan, a master of the seventh ray of divine light. You can think of these rays as different frequencies of creative energy, and the seventh ray is all about freedom, alchemy, and transformation. So he's not some agent of the void, he's the guide for the new Aquarian age, tasked with helping humanity move from what the book calls victim consciousness into creator consciousness.
So if the Reaper's weapon is the logic of zero, Saint Germain's tool is the violet flame. And this is not a force of destruction, it's a force of purification. The text describes it as this high-frequency spiritual energy that doesn't just erase our problems, it transmutes them. It takes the heavy, dense lead of our negative karma and emotional baggage, and like an alchemist, turns it into the gold of spiritual freedom. He's like a divine pharmacist, offering a remedy, not a punishment.
As he digs deeper, the scholar finds the core teaching that Saint Germain is pushing for this new era. It's a method for taking back your own divine power, a way to stop being a victim of your circumstances and start being a co-creator with the universe. It's called the I Am Authority.
It's just two simple words, but according to this book, they hold almost unimaginable power. The scholar learns about the I Am presence, this idea that every single one of us has a direct line to our own higher self, our God self. So when you decree I Am, you're not just saying you exist, you are actively invoking that higher power, calling on the authority of the entire universe to flow through you to help you manifest things like peace, health, and abundance. It's the ultimate statement of spiritual independence.
I think this slide is so fascinating because it really contrasts their magic. The Reaper's approach is like this dark ritual of the self. It's an act of pure defiance, the individual I standing against a worthless world. It's a magic of separation, of destruction. But Saint Germain's magic is the total opposite. It's all about aligning your personal will with the cosmic order, using ceremony and intention to create harmony. One shatters the world, the other helps you build a new one.
So as the scholar gets to the final pages of the Blue Book, these two figures, the Reaper and the Liberator, start to come together in his mind. And he has this aha moment. He realizes they aren't just enemies. They're two necessary, complementary forces. You need both. One has to come in and clear the field, and the other one arrives to plant the new seeds. Both are absolutely required for any real transformation to happen.
And this is the perfect summary of that final synthesis. Let's just look at it side by side. The Shadow Reaper's method? Annihilation, using the logic of zero. And the result? He empties the cage, he shatters all the illusions and forces you out. Then you have Saint Germain. His method is transmutation, using the violet flame. And the result? He fills the soul. He gives you the tools to build a new, meaningful life once you're free. One's the demolition expert, and the other is the master builder.
And this is really the ultimate takeaway our scholar lands on. It's just a profound, elegant way to put it. The Reaper performed that brutal but totally necessary act of breaking you out of a system that's forgotten how to live. But once you're standing in the rubble, once that freedom is achieved, Saint Germain shows up to teach you what to do with it, how to actually live with purpose and power, and a connection to something bigger than yourself. And with that, the scholar closes both books. His quest is over, but the final choice, it's not his anymore, it's ours. That gilded cage of comfortable numbness is all around us, and if it were to break tomorrow, what would you choose? The Reaper's unflinching, honest gaze into the void, or Saint Germain's alchemical fire of transmutation, the path of the abyss or the path of the flame?